Hey everyone, and welcome to Milo Game Reviews, where we review games both new and old on all platforms. My name is Milo, and if you like the content that I make, then please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a review when it comes out. 2026 so far has been pretty quiet in terms of game releases. January did not see that many interesting titles, but this has finally come to an end with the release of Reanimal. This is a game I've been waiting on for a long time, and I'm happy to say that this game did not disappoint. In fact, it blew my expectations out of the water. Let's dive deeper into the game and find out why. So Reanimal is created by Tarsier Studios, and these developers were previously responsible for the first two entries in the popular Little Nightmares series. I love Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and therefore, my hopes were high for Reanimal, which seemed to go for a much darker and creepier atmosphere while holding on to the beautiful animations and tight controls. Little Nightmares also plays more like a 2D game in terms of movement, with certain sections having you being able to move towards the background or foreground. Reanimal, on the other hand, fully allows for 3D movement with multiple sections, giving the player control over the camera and being able to explore the environment in 360 degrees. The story revolves around two orphans who go on an epic journey to find their friends in a dark, creepy, and war-torn world. The build-up and pacing of this game is perfect, and it really shows that these developers are absolute masters of suspense and environmental storytelling, since you cannot help but be captivated on what is happening on screen. The game starts out on a vast ocean when you and your partner are on a small wooden boat. Soon you find yourself in front of a giant colossal wall, as eerie and dark music immediately sets the tone. The music itself is also fantastic, with thundering drones and horns convey that you are in a world unlike any other. Once you are past this giant wall, you arrive in a forest where things immediately feel off. There are these weird and gross skin monsters that are basically human figures, but just with their skin remaining. They have no bone, or any liquid for that matter, in them. I have never seen enemy types and design like this, which again emphasizes how unique the atmosphere in Reanimal is. As you play, you start to have so many questions on what happened and why things are the way they are. Reanimal does a great job of bringing a mystery to light and taking you on a journey to hopefully uncover that mystery. Nothing is as boring as already knowing what is coming next, but still having to go through the motion to get there. A game like Reanimal has so many surprises and twists with its enemies, locations, and even gameplay that it just keeps feeling fresh, exciting, and mysterious. The gameplay can be described as an action-adventure, with a lot of variety. The first 30 minutes or so might feel more familiar to their previous games in terms of gameplay, as you solve puzzles by pulling switches, pushing down planks to cross gaps, or finding keys in order to open doors. There are some very tense and great chase sequences that also involve the co-op aspect of the game, where one character is holding onto a key item, and since their hands are full, the other character or player needs to run ahead and open the door for them while both are being chased. I do wish this would happen more often throughout the game, as it creates some unique asymmetrical gameplay for both. But what really surprised me about this game is how much it felt like this epic journey, almost an odyssey for these small children, as you constantly return to your boat and continue on your journey to find more orphans. This might have been showcased in trailers leading up to the game, but I don't really like to watch trailers after the first announcement one, and therefore I had no idea that the story revolved around more kids than just the two main characters. It was delightful to search and rescue more orphans and slowly create this group of outcasts as we traverse the dark waters in search of hope. Each orphan has a unique mask on their head, creating some sense of identity. There's also voice acting now, albeit not that much. And so as you search the world for more of your friends, you constantly travel by boat, which also offers new gameplay mechanics. While one character drives and steers the boat, the other has the ability to attack enemies with her harpoon. Little Nightmares 2 already introduced some form of combat, but in all honesty, it worked and controlled very clunky in that game, and I'm happy to say that the combat in Reanimal is better. It is fairly simple, as you simply press the combat button over and over again, but the animations are smooth and the hits feel visceral. As you might expect when being able to traverse the seas, there are plenty of secrets and collectibles to find in this game, and even some missable, so completionists and explorers will have a field day with this game, since you can find Easter eggs, posters to tear down to unlock concept art, or even masks that you can wear yourself. This was already a thing back in Little Nightmares 2, but in Reanimal, you can also simply switch masks during the game, and most have an animal theme, so that is quite cool and fitting. For some, you need to complete a small puzzle or sidetrack a bit in order to unlock them. I was also pleasantly surprised by the fact there are vehicle sections now in the game, like where you drive an ice cream truck in order to escape a hostile town, and later in the game there are even more vehicles you get to steer and drive. These vehicle sections are often short, but add to the variety and excitement of the game since they offer some pretty action-packed sequences. The game does a great job of sometimes going from a calm and serene situation to an absolute panic-inducing chase sequence in a matter of seconds, really dialing that dial from 0 to 100 in one go. Chase sequences in Little Nightmares were always exciting and presented great with narrow escape situations, but they are nothing compared to some of the chases you will have in Reanimal. They are the absolute creme de la creme when it comes to exhilarating running sequences, with both the situations being often so tense and epic, and the monster that is chasing you being so creepy and massive, but also the camera work making the entire sequence feeling more grand. The good thing too is that the chase sequences are never so difficult or frustrating that you have to do them over and over again. They are directed to perfection, to where most of the times you will get them in one go, while still maintaining that feeling that you just escaped in the nick of time. Overall, Reanimal is an absolute masterpiece, and probably my only complaint is that the ending felt a bit abrupt and rushed, since it came when I did not have the idea yet that we were heading towards an end scenario or goal. But as many say, the journey is more important than the destination. And that is definitely the case here, because what a journey it has been. The build-up of the game is just so good, with you encountering crazier and creepier things along the way as you have more questions on this world's history and lore. The gameplay is tight and responsive and offers a surprising amount of variety, with great tempo as no sections outlast its welcome by taking too long. Reanimal is truly a product of what the developers have learned over all these years and fine-tuned to the best in its genre. In the end, Reanimal gets a 9.1. The game is great in both single player and in co-op. It also even offers couch co-op, which is great for those old school game nights we used to do when we were younger. And it is awesome to share ideas and theories with someone else while you journey through this grotesque world. DLC is apparently also on the way, so I cannot wait to return to this awesome storyline and see where it takes us next.